Are we live? I believe we are live now. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me once again for another episode of Teatime Tales. First off, a little bit of a plug. If you haven't listened to the Teatime Tales chat, which happened yesterday, that was a new segment or feature where it's kind of a little mini podcast with me and Sean sitting down and talking about the game, and that will be happening fairly regularly. So go watch that on YouTube or on my Twitch channel if you haven't gotten a chance. Okay. Hi Chris, hi Ransom Man. Thanks for joining me. As always, we're streaming on Twitch right now. This will be available on YouTube later. I feel got a small echo going. As always, we're streaming on that would probably be because my Twitch is not muted on my computer. Thanks, Ransom Man. Good to know. I feel like I'm going to be all over the place and scattered today because my mind is consumed with other things. Namely, we got our first big bit of news in months and months. I don't know how long it's been. If you're watching this from the future, this was the day that the newest deluxe expansion has been announced and is basically showing that we're going to be exploring Dale and getting all kinds of cool stuff. I'm sure we'll be talking about that on the next episode of Teatime Tales chat, so I won't talk about it much here. And then we're also waiting for the big whatever mystery announcement is coming tomorrow at the Fellowship event. So yeah, my mind's in 100 places at once, but it's not a bad thing. For today, this is again what we do every week, a testing ground for new decks. This time around, by popular demand, according to the weekly Twitter poll, this is my take on a modern Bilbo deck. What do I mean by a modern Bilbo deck? Well, I've noticed that Bilbo hasn't gotten much use in the past however many years, mostly because of his high starting threat of 9 combined with low starting stats. And his card draw ability has always been great, but now we have so many other options. So I decided to do a take and figure out is there a way to use Bilbo in the modern card pool and make him useful. Before we get into that, other things as usual, be trying to keep this within an hour. I will scoop if it calls for it. I haven't actually... Have I even scooped yet? I feel like I always say that, but I haven't actually made use of it. There is a certain treachery in this particular quest. I'm playing Desert Crossing today that hits this particular deck really hard. It's the one that deals damage equal to the number of cards in hand or discards your hand, either one of which is crippling if it hurts early, because this deck is designed to draw a lot of cards. So if we see this early on, if we see that particular treachery early on, like say first round when I have 10 cards in my hand, then yeah, I'll probably scoop right away. I'm not going to mess with that nonsense. And as always, mistakes will be made, I'm sure, at some point. But we'll just keep rolling and do our best to avoid those as we can. Am I forgetting anything today? I don't believe so, hopefully. So I think we can go ahead and get started. Again, this is a Bilbo deck I entitled Bilbo's Retirement Party because of the theme of the deck. What I was thinking about is Bilbo's ability is built around card draw, and now we happen to have a certain deck type focused all around discarding cards to fuel abilities, the Noldor. So I thought, why not throw Bilbo and the Noldor together? Not only does it make good mechanic sense, but in terms of theme, obviously Bilbo went to his retirement at Rivendell living with the Noldor. In particular, Elrond and Arwen were there, so I like the fact that this works mechanically, but also theme-wise too, which is always a good double package in my book. So the idea of the deck is simple, nothing too different from a regular Noldor deck, except for you have Bilbo drawing cards, and kind of the idea here is to do a replacement for Eristor, so to try to build a draw engine that can draw as many cards as Aristor would, but you get a little bit more flexibility just from the fact that you don't have to do that forced discard of your hand at the end of each round. That's the idea, at least in theory. I'm playing Desert Crossing, as I said. In terms of this being a good testing scenario, it would, except for the fact that it has some weird effects on the quest cards. Like the first quest card forces you to exhaust an ally when it comes into play or deal damage to it. And then there's just a bunch of direct damage floating around the whole quest, including on quest stage 2. So in terms of testing, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a great testing quest. Because so there's some weird things. It's not the worst in the world, but it's not the best. But I wanted to give some variety in terms of what quests I play, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Hi everyone in the chat. Hoots from Erebor says, "Did Derek rig the poll? He's gonna love this." I wouldn't put it past him. Sure. Ransom Man, always love a good double package. Me too. Hi Sapidus. Sapidus is waving at me. And JT the Sovereign says, loving these, great end to the week. Thanks JT, thanks for joining me. So I think I'm gonna get started, and as with all Noldor decks, there's like a billion things going on at once, so hopefully I won't miss too many triggers. So I started off the quest with each player getting a copy of Burnt Sands. We have that. In terms of the temperature tracker, I've just been using resource tokens on the quest to mark it, so I'm starting off with 10 here. If someone has a better suggestion for Octagon, let me know. But so far, that's been fine. Start a new round. Draw an extra card with Bilbo. And we're off to the races. I'm a bit disappointed not to get any of my card draw cards. I have Deep Knowledge in here, as well as Peace and Thought, and then on top of that, Gleowine. So as you can see, the goal is to get some card draw going, but usually I start off with a better hand in those terms, but so far I just I don't have much, but hopefully we'll get some going. I do have To the Sea in Glorfindel, which is a good combo. I think in terms of what I want to do early on, what would be the best play here? I don't think because I have some pretty bomb cards in hand, like Gildor and Quick Beam, and even Elra here, and a Warden. I don't think I can afford to discard these cards to fund like an early Glorfindel or Gildor, so let's just do To the Sea on Arwen to get started early. And then I think maybe I'll just play a Quick Beam and be happy with that. I mean, that's not a bad start. That's perfectly fine. So he comes in exhausted. The force triggers, which after an ally plays and enters play, either exhaust it or deal 1 damage to it. Well, it's already exhausted, so we have to deal 1 damage. And then I can trigger the response of entering play, and I can deal 1 damage to him to ready him. So he's ready to go. And that's all triggering from the quest stage. Okay, so I'm facing 2 threats. I'm going to send Arwen, I'm going to send Elrond for a total of 6. Should be good enough just to get me going. And I don't think I'm going to play Elrond's Council yet. We'll save it for maybe when I really need some questing help. Okay, we got an early Wereworm, which just is 1 threat right now, so that gives me 3 progress. It is going to come down in attack. Makes an attack without a shadow card. And I think, do I want to try to do damage to it? I think I'm going to take the first attack undefended since there's no shadow card. Just take it on the chin, put a damage on Arwen. I'll block the second one with Bilbo. No shadow, thankfully. So no damage there. And then Quick Beam will attack back for a total of 2 damage. End of the round. I skipped travel phase. I guess I could have traveled to that. And raised my temperature by 2. But I think I'm just going to leave it there for now. Sometimes I like leaving the burnt sands there just to avoid the extra temperature. Sometimes it makes a difference, especially early on. So we'll go up to 14 on our temperature. Don't have to discard anything from hand, thankfully. Ready up. Extra card from Bilbo. Okay. Now we're at a point where I could potentially get Glorfindel into play. So let's discard 1 to give Arwen a resource. Put my little progress marker on her. I feel like I've played Arwen in almost every single deck I've done for Teatime Tales so far. But hey, I'm a little bit addicted to Arwen, so sue me. So I have 3 resources when combined with Elrond to potentially play Glorfindel, so I would only really need to discard 1 card. Because I could discard... Okay, Exhaust to the Sea, discard Glorfindel, which reduces cost to 4, and I would just need to discard 1 other card, which I could discard the Sailor of Loon for now, I think is fine. Discard those 2. Glorfindel's cost is now 3. We can go ahead and pay that. To play. Because remember, Glorfindel can be played from your discard pile. And then I think next turn I'll probably drop in the Warden just to start making sure my damage stays under control. Still disappointed not to see much card draw around other than Elven Light, but hopefully soon. Okay, we're up against 2. I think even though there's the time pressure or heat pressure from the quest stage, I'm not super dedicated to questing out of this first stage as quickly as possible. I'm wondering if I get another enemy, if I should keep Elrond back. I'll send Arwen for sure, we know that much. And... maybe, potentially... I would really like to see a fast hitch early on. I could always send Glorfindel and just ready him if need be. So let's do that. Let's send 6. Each player exhausts the character he controls and deals 1 damage to that character. Okay. Someone's gonna get a little bit of heat exhaustion. I think we're gonna make that be Bilbo. Just because I don't remember offhand how many attack boosting shadows there are, and then I'm thinking like Bilbo doesn't have his Protector of Lorien or Fast Hitch yet, so probably better to block with Bilbo potentially. I mean block with Elrond. Okay, so 6, so we make 4 progress. So we're almost gonna advance the stage. I'm gonna leave the burnt sands there. We're gonna defend with Elrond, see if my decision was good. It wouldn't have mattered, it turns out, but that's fine. So, I mean, I suppose I could have taken it undefended. It's only attacking for 1 at the moment. And I wouldn't have had to ready Glorfindel. But that's fine. I think I will just kill this guy to get rid of him so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I guess I will discard Lindir to ready Glorfindel and then attack back for 6. That's 1. That's 5 damage. And dead. Okay, we're up to 18 temperature. Hope for some card draw cards. Oh, well, there is the combo. Yeah, so this is kind of the tried and true Bilbo combo, and Bilbo is the defender in this deck. I am breaking no new ground here. Since Bilbo has come out, this has been the Super Defender Bilbo build, which is Fast Hitch, Protector of Lorien, and Burning Brand when it comes out. And with that combo, Bilbo becomes a nice little defender. So let's do Protector of Lorien right here. And I was kind of torn between Warden and Fast Hitch, because next quest stage is the one that's going to start pumping some damage out, and I wanted to stay ahead of that. But then the next quest stage also reveals an encounter card, so I kind of wanted to have Fast Hitch as well to prepare for that. Okay, let me think this through a little bit. Did I draw an extra card for Bilbo? I did, yeah. Okay. Okay, well, I think I know what to do now. We will spend 1 from Arwen to grab our Elven Light, which will give us some more cards to work with. Okay, test of will, that's fine. What I can do here now is discard that using Arwen's ability to put a resource on Elrond. That's why I like having the Lore Noldor in this deck. I experimented with a version of this deck that actually had Arwen, Bilbo, and Lore Pippin. What was nice about that is Lore starting threat, and I could play Friend of Friends on both Bilbo and Pippin, which was fun. But ultimately I found, you know, it's hard to compare the two. Obviously, Elrond makes you start with way higher starting threat, but he just brings so much to the table. One of the things he brings is that I can get a resource from Arwen. So now I can play both Fast Hitch, and I can also get my Warden onto the table. And I'll start healing some damage in case a treachery deals some. So I'll remove some from Quick Beam and get some off Bilbo, because since he is my primary defender. Okay, up against 2, we'll send 3, and I think this time, since Bilbo's set up, we can send Elrond. See what we get. Each player assigns X damage among characters he controls. X is the tens digit. That is not too bad at all. That's a single point of damage. I might as well put it on Arwen, since Elrond is healing 2 at a time. That just makes that second damage an easy grab. Sorry, catching up on chat here. McDog says, I found it better to always avoid the burnt sands. The seemingly small temperature increase comes back to haunt me. Yeah, I agree. Because it's based on the tens digit, that extra 2, it actually buys you an extra round with the tens digit just at 1. Ransom Man, do all allies come in exhausted? You're right, it's all allies. I promised myself I wouldn't forget, and I did forget already. So Glorfindel would have come in with a damage, and the Warden would have had to exhaust. So I couldn't have done that healing, actually. So Bilbo would have 1, and Quick Beam would still have his 2, and I would have to wait until next turn to do the Warden. Thanks for that catch, Ransom Man, because I totally would have blanked on that. So next round, I'll be able to use the Warden to clear out some damage. Okay, so I was sending 6. I got 1 damage from Arwen. That's still true. So we're gonna advance past the quest. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, don't apologize, Ransom Man. I'd much rather you tell me now than to get like 5 comments on my YouTube videos later and feel like I botched the whole quest. So much appreciated. Okay, so I'll advance to the next stage. Increase temperature by 2, so we'll put our resources here to mark that we're now at 20. Shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck. And reveal 1 encounter card per player. Okay, so let's see what we get. We get discard the active location. There's none, but the rest still triggers because it's an auto. Then shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards from the top until a location is discarded, and then that becomes the active location. We are already shuffled. This wouldn't be in the pile yet, so yeah, we're just discarding cards till we get a location, which is this. That becomes the active. I didn't want that one because that's the one that also deals direct damage, so I'm starting to come under some damage pressure here, which is definitely a thing in this quest. So I have to assign 2 damage, and we're also going to get damage at the end of the round, which starts getting nasty. Let's put 1 on Elrond. I'm definitely going to want to start getting my Warden of Healing going and healing. That is about it. We get to the end of the round. Increase temperature to 4. We're going to deal damage among characters equal to the tens digit, which is 2. So we're going to throw another one on Glorfindel and another one at Elrond. Again, I'm just trying to make sets of 2 since the Warden is healing 2 off each character thanks to Elrond's ability. And we can move to the next round. There's some of our card draw, and there's Burning Brand. Okay. Well, I think first I'm just going to exhaust to heal some damage because it's making me super nervous right now. So let's get 2 off. No, actually, I take that back. Sorry, I told you I was going to be scattered today. So the reason I'm taking it back is because first I want to see what cards I get in hand, because depending on that I may trigger the Warden's extra kicker ability, which is you can pay 2 lore resources to ready him again. So based on what kind of lore cards I get in hand will determine whether I'm going to use that ability or not. Okay, so Deep Knowledge, raise our threat by 2. See what kind of cards we can get. Draw 2 cards. Another fast hitch, that's okay. I think at this point I definitely want the Burning Brand on Bilbo. But I also wouldn't mind having like a Gildor on the board either. But I guess I have enough questing power at the moment. Really haven't seen Glaewine, who's a good part of the draw engine here, who would help me pay for Gildor. So let's start off by getting our Elven Light back. Give ourselves some more options. Okay, we got the twins. So, let's do this. Let's once again discard that, and we're gonna hand out that ability to Elrond. That resource, I should say. We're gonna pay for the Burning Brand. I'll make that our priority. The Bilbo house is full setup, which isn't too hard to get going when you have card draw. And then I'll just see what I need to work with for the rest. I can do the Warden of Healing now because I know I don't have the extra resource anyway. So 2 off of Elrond, 2 off of Glorfindel. Ransoman asked, does the Warden then need a damage? No, because it's your choice of either exhaust or take the damage, yeah. Okay, you guys caught up on that. And yeah, Pippin couldn't have achieved that healing power, definitely. I mean, that's one of the considerations among many, but yeah, that Warden Elrond combo is just fairly unbeatable. Keeps you in a good place, especially since so many quests nowadays have damage. So if I have 2 cards I'm willing to give up, I could potentially get Elladan into play. I could give up a Guardian, that would be fine, and maybe a Fast Hitch. Sure, let's do that. I want more cards on the table. So we're going to discard Fast, we're going to discard that. If this was a quest that had like 1 billion enemies, I would never do that. I would never give up a Fast Hitch, but because of the way this quest is, it should be fine. And hopefully that won't come back to bite me. So Elladan only costs 1 now. Got him on the board. I no longer have to deal with the stage 1 allies entering play exhausted or taking damage. And away we go. Hopefully I can get his brother in soon. There's no orcs for them to trigger their ability, but they still have a solid stat line. Okay, we're up against 2 still. We'll send 3. We'll send 6. And we should probably send Glorfindel to make sure we clear this. And we will send Elladan. And I think I'm going to use Elrond's Council too. That takes us up to 12 willpower and drops our threat. 12 to 2. Okay, another location. Glad I made those choices. That's 7 progress. 4 clear out the Scorch Hamada and 3 there. Kind of a funny note is in an early build of when I was trying this out, I included Thror's map, forgetting that Desert Crossing just completely flips off, gives the middle finger to Thror's map, because these aren't travel effects. All the locations have forced effects on becoming the active location, which sucks for that purpose. So, I need to travel to one of these to prevent too much threat from piling up. I really don't want another card from the encounter deck. But maybe I'll just take that gamble, hoping it's an enemy. Sure, fortune favors the bold. Let's see. Ugh, it surges too. Okay, that's not my favorite. Basically, this removes progress at the end of the round. The good news is I can complete this to reduce the temperature by 10, which I might do. And we get some carrion birds. Ooh, I may live to regret this decision. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 damage characters. This is at 36 engagement cost. So thankfully I used the Elrond's Council. Otherwise I would have been in range for this engagement cost, which would have means that I would have had to discard either Quick Beam or Glorfindel, because the Carrion Bird discards a damage character when it engages you. Yeah, that would have sucked. Not gonna lie. Okay, end of the round. This triggers remove. Sorry, just making sure I get the timing right. These are both at the end of the round, so I can choose the order. So Remove X progress, so we're going to remove 2 progress. The tens digit is at 2. This is going to go up to 28. And we're going to move to the next round. Draw another card. Still no card draw. They're really buried. I have about 6 or 7 card draw cards that should be coming up, but they have not arrived yet. Okay. Well, that being the case, let us do our Elven Light trick once more, because that is the card draw card I have going. There he is. There's the man I wanted to see. Yeah, so let's get that engine going, because that's going to be the key to doing everything else we want to do. And use them right away to draw a card. Okay, that's fine. Noldor are fine with extra card fodder. So I have an Elven Light that can go to either sphere, and I have some cards that I can discard. I think Gildor's still a little out of my price range, so let's go for Elra here. Discard a card. That uses Arwen's ability, trigger to the sea to the sea. We just need to reduce this cost by 2, so I'll get rid of the extra copy of Glorfindel. The extra copy of To the Sea to the Sea. Elra here now costs 1. Okay, the twins are in motion. I can't do this. I can't have a Glaewine sandwich. I'll put them next to each other. There we go. Okay, I'll do them the proper sequence as well. I can just imagine someone yelling at me to do that. Okay. That about does it. We're looking down the barrel of 4. Oh, let's do our healing as well. So let's maximize our healing here. Get 2 off Quick Beam and 2 off Arwen. And let's send Arwen. Let's send Elrond. We're going to make Seek Shade the active quest, by the way. Let's send Glorfindel just to make sure we hit it. That's 9. We gotta chew through this. Let's send the twins as well. That takes us to 13. Get us up to 14 with Elrond's counsel. Make sure I stay out of range of those carrion birds. That takes us to 10. If we draw like a 3 threat, we would make 7 progress, which wouldn't be enough. I wonder if I should just send Quick Beam too then. And Combat be damned. No, I don't think I'm gonna go that crazy, just in case some kind of enemy comes out. I probably won't complete this in 1 round, but if I'm reducing the temperature by 10, then I at least should be fine in terms of time. Okay, let's see what I reveal. Wereworm. Okay. I'm kind of glad I didn't do what I was gonna do then. So I make 8 progress. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should be able to clear it next round. Get rid of the dunes. I'm not going to travel to the sand still. I'm not going to take on the birds because I don't feel like discarding freaking Glorfindel. So now I'm wondering if I forgot to deal. Did I forget to deal damage to my characters? What round am I even in? I'm gonna scroll back through my log real quick to see whether I dealt damage to my people. Sorry, there's like a billion things to keep track of in this quest. Yeah, McDog says, "What day is it? Who am I? What game am I playing?" This Arkham LCG is great, isn't it? Okay, so I added that, removed 2 progress. Yeah, I don't think I dealt damage for the quest last turn. Okay, so let's say, who would it have even gone on? I hate retconning. But let's just say it would have gone on Elrond. He would have taken 2 damage. Or did he already have 2 damage? Goodness gracious. Okay, let's do this. I had Elladan on the board last turn, right? He takes 2 damage. I haven't healed any. Okay, so that should be kosher. Okay, we're good. Oh, jeez. So many triggers to remember. Okay, so the werewolf's going to come down. It's going to do an immediate attack with no shadow card. Bilbo can block that no problem. 2 defense. He can block the other one. Shadow card won't matter because he has Burning Brand. And even if I readied Glorfindel, I couldn't kill this thing, so I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to waste Test of Will or Gildor for that. And at the end of the round, this Seek Shade will trigger, removing the rest of the progress. I better put a number for that. 0. Our temperature will go up to 32, which means I have to deal out 3 damage. Yeesh. Let's put 2 on Elrond, 1 on Elro here. And now we can progress to the next round. Draw an extra card. Leowine will draw another card. I have Mithlon Sea Watcher in here since Elrond can pay for it. A little bit of extra attack. And let's see what we want to do. I'm kind of tempted to get another Warden of Healing out just to really get ahead of the damage. But I think for now, 1 is probably good, and I think the greater priority right now is some willpower, so I don't have to keep exhausting all my combat characters for that. Although I could just put a Mithlon on there and I wouldn't have to worry about it, would I? Yeah, maybe I'll put a Sea Watcher out for 1. Well, let's do our good old tried and true Elven Light. We got Vilya. Vilya is kind of a side note in this deck. I've just included 1 copy, so this is definitely not an Elrond Vilya deck. Vilya is just more of a bonus if you get it, and it can get you a few allies here and there, but there's not really redding for Elrond, so you just gotta do it blindly. And it does give you a spirit icon for Elrond though, which can be helpful. So I think what we can do actually is discard 1 to give a resource to Elrond. And then I really would love to get Gildor out, but I'm just not getting the cards I need. This is why I have Peace and Thought in here, because when you start kind of stalling out a little bit, like that influx of 5 cards can really help a lot to just get some of these bomb like Gildor's out. I actually don't know if I'm going to end up having 2 Wardens on the board. I don't know if that's the best use. So maybe I'll discard 1 to lower the cost of Mithlon to 1. I was trying to purposely discard an ally so that the Mithlon Sea Watcher would be at 3 attack. And then I could even get the Linden Navigator out if I want some more willpower. So let's do that. If I use the Mithlon, though, I might have to discard something. My friend Rokafukes says, might Elfstone be an idea for this deck with the expensive allies? Potentially. Usually if you actually get your card draw going earlier with like Peace and Thought and your Deep Knowledges and Glaywine, then you don't usually need help with it. Generally I'm getting Gildor and Glorfindel out fairly early, but yeah, could be worth experimenting with it. We're going to make Seek Shade the active. We will go against 4. We'll send 3, 6, 10 to 4. That should actually be enough to clear it, but I'll send one more person. Just to be safe, I better use my Warden in case Treachery deals damage. Let's heal Elrond, and let's heal Oladan. Okay, Desert Oasis. Nice, that's a good draw. So we complete this and reduce temperature by 10, which takes us down to 22 now. Okay, so we got some breathing room. I think we can start pushing ahead now and try to run out this thing. I didn't use Linden Navigator. When I go to Desert Oasis, I just exhaust the character. That's fine. That's totally worth a bunch of damage that I'm going to heal once that goes off. Because it heals 4 damage when you explore it. But then Elrond's ability will also go off because his ability specifies another card effect and not a player card effect. So yet more reasons why Elrond is bananas. Okay, this guy should still not be coming down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's at 37 engagement cost, so we'll keep him at bay. We will defend. Shadow card doesn't matter. 2 against 2. Attack back for 6. That should be enough on its own against actually 7. Against 2 is 5 damage, just to make it fun. And I think that'll do it. This is going to go up to 26. We're going to do 2 damage. This makes our little sets of 2. And keep going. Draw for Bilbo. Draw for Glaywine. There's Peace and Thought. Might actually use that at the end of this round. Let's get some more options with Elven Light, per usual. There's Deep Knowledge. Just wondering about the carrion birds and when they're gonna come down. This will take me to 36. This is still at 37 threat. Should be fine. It's worth it to get some more cards. Okay. Okay. I think we potentially might have enough to pay for Gildor now. We have 2 to spend, so we just need to discard 3. I can discard 1 copy of Peace and Thought because I don't think I'm going to need both. I can discard a Guardian and discard Test of Will because I don't think I'm realistically going to need both copies. Famous last words, right? That willpower costs 2. That willpower infusion will be nice. I will go ahead and give a resource to Arwen this time, just in case I do need to use the one copy of Test of Will that I do have. Let us heal some damage before questing. Take it off Glorfindel. Take it off Elro here. Actually, I'm gonna take it off Bilbo. Just, I don't remember all the cards in the counter deck, but just in case by some freak luck Carrying Bird comes down, I don't want to be forced to discard my only damaged character, which would be Bilbo Hero. That would be bad. So, worst case, I discard Elro here, which wouldn't be the end of the world. Sorry, bud. Okay, we're up against 4. Let's send 3, 6, 9, 12. We will send the Navigator for 14. And Elrond here, I don't think I'm going to need his defense for 16. Okay. Fine water. Characters cannot be readied by player card effects. It's annoying. Oh, it doesn't surge. I was preparing to reveal another encounter card. I'm so used to these bad side quests surging. Okay, so that is a total of 12 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're getting there. We can heal 4 damage from among characters in play. So that's gonna basically get rid of all damage on the board. We do have to discard one for the Navigator. Given where we are, I think I can discard the healer. I think we're fine with 1 going forward. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think we can go ahead and engage this guy, because in case unless my eyes are bad, we don't have any damaged characters anymore. Defend with Bilbo. Shadow effect's not going to matter. 2 against 2. We will attack. He has 4. Gonna attack with him and the Sea Watcher for 6, because our top card is of our discard pile is an ally. Takes him out. This temperature is going to get back up to 30, which means we are going to have some damage. We will deal 2 to Glorfindel. And 2 on Elver here. I'm just going to start putting damage on Elver here constantly as kind of like a patsy, unfortunately. Okay, I think I caught everything this time. Oh, I didn't use my Peace and Thought, but the reason why is because I was going to use it, and Bilbo would have been able to ready, and Elrond would have been exhausted, but that would have been fine with more cards. But because Fine Water came out, that ruined my plans, and now I can no longer do that, because basically both Bilbo and Elrond would be out of commission, and Bilbo is my main defender. So, yeah, so unfortunately can't use the Peace and Thought until this is out of there. Let us do Glaylime card. Let's Deep Knowledge. We do have an Elrond's Council to get our threat back down if we need to. Chris says, I think you might have enough cards already. Never! Never enough cards. More! I want more! I do want willpower on the board, so I think that's my main thing. But first, let's get a card. Let's get Elven Light out. There we go. Now the deck is showing its card quality. So I can easily just discard an extra Protector of Lorien, lower the cost of one of this Sailor, and then I'll discard Elven Light to give Arwen a resource, which means that the Sailor will be questing for 2, since the top card is an event. Okay, let's do this thing now. I don't think I'm gonna go to Fine Water. It sucks not to be able to ready, but I think I should be okay, and I want to get out of this quest stage, which keeps constantly damaging me. Let's heal up, just in case. No, not exhausted. Healed. There we go. We're clear of damage once again. Okay. We don't need to do a ton. We just need 4 more progress to clear. So 3, 6, 8, 11. 13. I just said we don't need a lot, but yeah, that's probably overkill, so let's not send it over here. Let's just do Elrond's Council instead, and we'll be good at 12. Threat falls back down to 35. Let's make sure my math is right. 3, 6, 9, 11, 12. Yep. We reveal each player assigns X damage that is equal to the tens digit, which is 3. That is okay. If I was playing a different deck without healing, then that would suck. We did 10 progress, yeah, so we're going to annihilate that. And we move to the third and final quest stage. Increase temperature by 2, so we're going to be at 32. We have to search the discard pile for a wereworm and add it to the staging area. Peter Jackson, this is your moment. Here come the wereworms. Exploding from the ground. Here's one. Okay, found it. Counter deck shuffled. During the quest phase, we now add X threat to the total threat in the staging area, where X is the tens digit. So right now we have 3 extra threat. And at the end of the round, as usual, increase the temperature by 4. While there's a wereworm in play, we cannot win. So basically, we have to make the 16 progress and no wereworms in play. That's fine. We'll still leave the burnt sands there. No reason to go there. The wereworm will come down. He will make 1 attack without a shadow card. Usually I would defend Bilbo with both, but remember, Bilbo can't ready with fast hitch. So Elro here will take that. No shadow card, defends it easily. And now he will attack for real. Bilbo will defend. Shadow card is nothing anyway. So this guy is what? 3 defense and 5 hit points. I need a total of 8. 3, 6, 9. What do you know? Dead. Okay. Temperature goes up to 36. Next turn. Bilbo card. Glaywine card. Okay, I do have silver harps in here, which just help to like conserve the cards that you're discarding. Stokes Book says, with exception of Bilbo, sounds like 80% of the Noldor decks on Rings DB. How dare you? How dare you, Stokes? No, you're right. It is basically just a Noldor build. The difference is getting an extra card from Bilbo. And the thing I do like is sometimes Noldor don't have a good defensive option to start off with unless you use someone like Elrond. So it's nice having Bilbo as kind of a hero slot that's just devoted just to defense. Oh, you were talking to Chris. Okay. You're talking of Chris's suggestion of Bilbo. Yeah, but I do think the comment is fair in regards to this deck too. It is also very similar to a standard Noldor build. No lie there. But I do like the added wrinkle of Bilbo. Rook of Fuchs asked, shouldn't Bilbo took damage? Oh, you're right, because the thing was attacking for 3. So I would have discarded one. What cards did I I think I would have just discarded Peace and Thought, because I'm not going to be able to use that with Fine Water on the table. Thanks for that catch as well. Let's do... Let's get our Elven Light out, of course. Just some more slush cards. We've almost drawn through our deck at this point. There is one Will of the West in here that you save and just spend when you get towards the end. So basically you can cycle through your deck twice, which if you have to cycle through your deck more than that, then the quest is probably going on longer than it should at that point, realistically. We just want to discard the extra copy of To the Sea to get out another Sailor of Loon, because we just want to quest out of this thing now. Discard Elven Light to give Arwen a resource for Test of Will. If you're wondering why I haven't gotten out Vilya out yet so far, is because again, like I said, it's a bonus, and at this point in the game I don't really need the acceleration. If I drew it early on, then it's a good, like, if other things are stalling out and you happen to get Vilya, then sometimes it's a good option to just, like a backup plan, basically. So let's do 3, 6. Let's do our healing, sorry, before I get too ahead of myself. 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, because these are both questing for 2. 15, I will use the Navigator this turn. And I'll use Elra here to go up to 17. Let's do Glorfindel for 20. And yeah, let's just stay there. Okay, Burnt Sands. Temperature is not at 40 plus, so this is still just 2 threat. I think this is going to be our 16 exactly. Yep, 20 to 4. 16. I'll discard something just to resolve the Linden Navigator, but it doesn't matter because we won at this point. Oh, no, we did not win because I forgot the extra 3 threat from the quest stage itself. So no, we're actually up against 7. So we're denied by 3 progress. Yeah, thanks, McDog. Don't forget the extra threat from the quest card. Yep, so easy to forget. Stokesbug asks, where's the Rossiel deck tech I was promised last year? And in response to Chris, who runs the Fantastic Deck Tech series. So make sure you go check out his deck tech videos and decks on Rings DB as well. Let's see. So we're going to have one more turn. I'm just going to leave the Burnt Sands where they are because we don't care. Temperature is going to go up to 40, so that's going to be an extra 4 threat. But that should be okay. Ready. Bilbo card. Glaywine card. Sure, I'll put Treebeard out just for the fun of it. But we're going to try to get out. We will discard... I will save you the trouble of drawing Elven Light. Just imagine that I drew Elven Light into hand and discarded it right back to get Arwen a resource, and we netted a card. Just a little shortcut since we're getting a little lower on time. And let's quest against a total of 8. 3, 6, 8, 11, 14, 16, 18. Up against 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 6 progress, and that will win the game because there's no werewolves in play. That about... Oh, again, another mistake. Okay. Yeah, McDog, you're right. The Burnt Sands is actually at 4 threat each, so that's a total of 4, 8, 12, 16, actually. With that in mind, I actually would have committed more than that to end out the game, so I probably would have committed Elber here, I believe, and left Glorfindel back. And that would be enough at that point to get us to, that would have been 4 progress, and that would be 17 progress to end the game. So that about does it. Aside from a few mistakes here and there, thanks to chat for catching my many mistakes. I did promise there would be many mistakes, especially in this quest where there's like 5 billion things to remember. And especially as we get to the end and I'm like, just give me my victory already. But I think it was obvious towards the end that victory was pretty much foregone once I got to a certain point. So I hope you enjoyed the deck, Bilbo's Retirement Party. Go find it on RingsDB and give it a like. Yes, I will. I will shill for some likes. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TailsFT Cards, so you can vote on the next deck I play. I do like this version of the deck. Again, it's not like super different from Noldor decks, but it's something different than just using Error Store, and you're still able to generate a fair bit of cards. Get to your combo pieces, get the big cards out, and you have a fairly reliable defender in Bilbo. Now against harder quests where you're facing enemies with like 6 attack and 5 attack on the regular, I'm not sure, because that is going to put a ton of pressure on your defense, on your hand rather. Like, because in a quest like this where the enemies are 3 or 4 attack, you're maybe discarding like 1 or 2 cards for Bilbo. But against a tougher quest where you're having to discard like 3 or 4 cards each time, then it's hard to have a deck that's using cards for Bilbo and for the Noldor. What you would have to do then is put Bilbo in a different deck where you're generating cards, but those cards aren't being used for other purposes. They're just going to Bilbo's kind of defensive scheme. So I think with some tweaking, you could make it work in those cases. You didn't see Peace and Thought used here, but it does help a ton to get those 5 cards, and is definitely worth exhausting some heroes. And Chris says it's real hard to play this game and talk without making mistakes. Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm sure I make a few mistakes here and there on a home game, but when I'm playing at home, but probably 10 times more mistakes when streaming. So other than that, cross your fingers for an amazing announcement tomorrow. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. I'm sure there'll be much talk of it. I'm sure the various forums will be abuzz tomorrow. I look forward to talking about it with you all next week. And I just have a hard time imagining what this announcement could be. But good luck in your fellowship events tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. See you later. Bye.